What is going on? Another week, Run Pure Nation. I'm here with my boy, Ryan Harris. As always, if you need help with any of your mortgage stuff, he's your guy. Check him and his team out online, pmrloans.com/rharris, or email them with any questions you might have at championmortgageteam@pmrloans.com. Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169, Equal Housing Opportunity, Loan Officer, NMLS 2100127. Ryan, Notre Dame's back. We got football. We're on to week 4. Tons of stuff happening, as always. I know you're even busier than me. Great time of year, though. What's going on today, my man?
Well, I love it. You got a huge matchup. I know your Bengals and the quote-unquote whiteouts coming. We'll get into that. But you mentioned it, Tony, a big decisive win for Notre Dame, still without a first quarter touchdown on the season, but had almost 300 yards of offense in the second quarter against North Carolina. They got a bye week this week, but Tony, look out. The showdown in Vegas, BYU, Notre Dame. Where are the fans supposed to go on the Strip? Where is safe for BYU and Notre Dame fans? That's going to be a huge, huge matchup. And then I'm calling this weekend's game Baylor and Oklahoma State at Baylor. That's going to be probably another preview of the Big 12 championship. So if you're driving around in your car, turn me on.
Oh, you got to. And you're just crushing it on those broadcasts, too. You do great work. So the people need to check it out without a doubt. Well, what's the spread in that Notre Dame game? I'm curious.
I don't know. You know, one of the things that's interesting with this evolving sports entertainment market, it's just safe not to ever wager on the teams that you're working with. And you know me, Tony.
Like
I'm
me
a
with the
financial
Bengals
literacy
tonight.
guy. These are entertainment dollars. Do not entertain yourself with sports unless you are also purchasing stock or paying down your mortgage. Take care of your financial security, then have fun.
No doubt. Like me invested in my Bengals tonight. It's probably an interesting proposition going down to the game.
Don't invest more in the Bengals than you do into Microsoft and Apple. All right. That's all I'm saying, you know?
So tonight we got an interesting battle too, because according to the stats and stuff, this looks like the best matchup on paper for the Bengals in the trenches. I know Miami blitzes a lot, but they haven't got as much pressure as the first couple teams the Bengals have played. What are you seeing in the trenches tonight here?
Well, this is going to be where the game is won or lost. And let's start at the left tackle, Teron Armstead for Miami versus Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end for the Bengals. Trey Hendrickson, by the way, 3 strip sack fumbles last week against the Jets. So he is a monster and a big piece of that defense. That Bengals defense has been struggling, especially in the secondary. Now, I think Logan Wilson is the best cover linebacker in the NFL. He is deceptive. He is disruptive. He is fast. I love his game. So I hope that he continues to progress. But that battle at the left tackle and defensive end position, Armstead versus Hendrickson, that's going to matter a ton.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how it plays out too, because obviously Tyreek Hill's been chirping a little bit since last year with Apple, and I know the Bengals guys aren't happy too. I've heard a bunch of the secondary guys chirping back like we got Apple's back, blah blah blah. It's just interesting because Tyreek Hill, obviously, I mean, we saw it in the Baltimore game 2 weeks ago, how explosive he is. He can get loose. Baltimore goes from up 3 touchdowns to losing the game in a hurry because of Tyreek Hill. Bengals, though, have always played him tough. I mean, you look at those games against the Chiefs last year, they pretty much bottled him up, and that's why they were able to dominate both of those games in the second half and eventually get to the Super Bowl because of it. I don't know. Like, how do you being in the locker room when you know a guy's as explosive as that, and you got Waddle on the other side, I might add, how do you see them like scheming for this? Are they going to drop deep and let them try to beat him on the ground, or like what are you seeing with the Tyreek Hill factor?
Well, the big thing is whether or not Miami can run the football, because if Miami runs the football, then if nothing else, the eyes of the safety have to respect their run fits. And that's exactly when Waddle's past, or you get Tyreek Hill speeding past, right? So for Miami, they have to run the football today. That's not something they've been tremendously successful in. Not a lot of teams have, by the way, still week 4 of the 18-week season, 17-game regular season. But if Miami can run the ball effectively, want to take some pressure off of Tua, who they're missing, that back injury is significant, Tony. I mean, yes, he fell down, and I've had 4 back surgeries, so I can tell you sometimes that back feels good. And then when it doesn't, you're just locked up for the rest of the day, possibly, weeks. So it really depends on Tua's health, but they got to run the football. But I'll tell you what, Tony, I don't know which receiver's better, Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. And I'm serious. Both of these guys are unbelievable. Then you got Durham Smythe, the tight end as well from the University of Notre Dame. So quite the
I didn't know that.
Miami
That's another
had.
plug. I'm learning new Notre Dame guys each week here. I didn't know that. I like that.
We're everywhere, man. We're like Spectre in 007. We're everywhere. We have people everywhere at Notre Dame.
I like the plug, though. Both teams with these receivers, though. That's why tonight I think is so exciting. I mean, you got Tua and Burrow, obviously. Receivers both directions. I mean, Chase, Higgins, Boyd. I mean, it doesn't get any better. In my mind, it doesn't get any better than that in football as far as just pure weapons. I mean, how do you bottle these guys up? I mean, do we see points tonight? I mean, we have to, right? I think we do.
It's one of those. It's one of those games where it's going to be, either 35 to 14, 35 to 28, or it's going to be, 14 to 13 or something. So
one of the worries I got is what you said, like maybe they drop guys and they try to establish the run, and maybe they do. Maybe they're picking up 5 a clip for Miami, and that clock's just running, keeping Burrow and the boys off. And Cincinnati honestly doesn't mind running the ball either. So if both teams drop back a little bit and they get the ground games going, we could see a little bit slower of a game, especially on a short week. Like you said, Tua's injured. We should have got into that to start with, but Tua, was it the back or was it the concussion? I mean, dude's falling into his lineman's arms. Tell me, what do you think? Was it a concussion? Is it a back? No concussion?
Either way, it's concerning, right?
That's the most important part, right?
And in my experience in the NFL, the answer is both, right? But the tough thing about back injuries is if your back tightens up around that nerve, you lose strength in your legs. Now, perhaps Tua's been good. He was questionable until yesterday. Looks like he's going to start as of word this morning. And don't think for a second that the Bengals don't know that either. I mean, that's a big piece of that fans miss. Listen, the information that NFL pros know is insane. Like if I was going against you, Tony, I would know as a tackle, and if you're a defensive end, what's your move on 3rd and 5? What's your move on 3rd and 7? What's your move after you get your ass kicked, right? What are you trying to determine? What is your positioning on 1st and 2nd down? Right. And oh, by the way, hey, coach, are there any injuries to Tony? Oh, Tony's got an ankle, Tony's got a back and possibly a concussion. I'm not discounting that information. Right. So I'm not saying that there's targeting. I'm just saying that you're talking about a league where you have apex predators trying to do everything they can to destroy their opponent. So Tua Tagovailoa, his health in this game is going to be key.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. It's like you said, you don't have to do blatant cheap shots. But if you know the quarterback's back is hurt, you're a professional. You're paid to win games. The better you do, the more money you're going to make, the more success you're going to have down the line. I'm not saying you're going to go in there and what was the D coordinator that always was known for like paying the dudes? What was that guy's name? Mike Williams or something?
Yeah.
Greg Williams?
Yeah, Greg Williams. I think from the Saints back in the day,
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what it's doing, but like you said, all of a sudden you're in a pile. Maybe you give that extra little nudge into the leg or the back. I mean, that's just part of the business. That happens in all sports, I'm sure. They got to know that. It's an interesting spot tonight, though, because obviously the Dolphins are 3-0. I think this is a must-win spot for the Bengals at home. Their schedule gets much harder as the year goes. They can't fall to 1-3 when they played Pittsburgh, who I think is terrible. Week 2, who did they play week 2? They should have won week 2 too. I'm drawing a blank who they played, but they should have won week 2. They got to win tonight. I think they do, but what's a prediction? I need a prediction here. What do we got tonight?
I like Miami 30 and Cincinnati 21. I just think that Joe Burrow is still not mobile enough in the pocket. Now, he showed last week some of those best plays came when he scrambled, spun out of the pocket. But you also got Javon Holland, the defensive end for Miami. This kid can play. Young player, sack and a half already, but very disruptive. So Joe Burrow's going to be under distress. The good thing is you got T. Higgins back after sitting out practice Monday with a toe injury. I also had a total toe reconstruction, so I don't know what the injury is with the toe for T. Higgins, but I can tell you from experience, when you don't have the function of one of or your big toe, it really changes everything. So I got Miami winning in this one, provided Tua can stay healthy.
I mean, you're coming on just hurting my feelings here. I'm going down to the game. I wanted you all aboard. I wanted to lock arm in arm going down to the game. Can't even get me, but I like it. I like a little head-to-head confrontation. It gives us something to talk about next week on the show. That covers tonight pretty good. You got anything crazy for the weekend? Anything stick out, college or pro? Any like mismatches?
Well, look out too, because with your week 4 matchup, I like the Giants beating the Bears at home. And also remember, if you are a Los Angeles Chargers fan, you lost your left tackle, Rashawn Slater, and Joey Bosa. So now you're going to look at facing a Texans team that is hungry. I'm not sure what the spread is there, but I'll take the Texans as an underdog in that game. You still got a banged up Justin Herbert. You still got some injuries there for the Chargers, and some key positions are missing that make that football team that dynamic.
The funny part you bring that up is that's the one game I targeted on our show where we were previewing the week, because I keep talking about these road teams that are like the popular road teams going on the road, and a team that no one wants to bet Houston. No one wants to pick Houston to win the game. Herbert injury, lineman injuries, everything you just said was what I said. So it was a nice conviction. They're only favored by 5.5, but man, that seems like a great spot for Houston for me as well. Last thing before we get you out of here for the week, Broncos win maybe the ugliest game of the week maybe the ugliest game I've ever seen in my life. Absolutely painful to watch, but they got the W against a great 49ers team and defense. What do they got to do to get this offense going? This week they play the Raiders, who honestly the Raiders have to win. I mean, the Broncos are 2-1, the Raiders are 0-3. Huge game for the Raiders. I just don't know if they can beat the Broncos. What do the Broncos got to do to let Russ cook, as they say? What do we got? They got
to build off of that huge win. The first time ever in franchise history they won a game scoring over only 11 points, and the defense was unreal, Tony. 2 turnovers in the last 5 minutes. Bradley Chubb has really started to emerge as the player everyone thought he would be as a defensive end and first-round pick. Randy Gregory has proven that he is good. Patrick Surtain has cemented his Pro Bowl nomination already now before going into week 4. This defense was nuts. But the biggest thing, Tony, resilient wins build more confidence than blowout wins. Because in resilient wins, each and every guy played a role at a key moment. One of the big drives for the Broncos, 80-yard scoring drive that helped them win the game. Every single player played a role, and the defense played major roles in the end of the game, as I mentioned, those takeaways. So when you go into a locker room, I know fans don't like those tight games, but when you go into a locker room after winning a close game, now you know you can win whatever kind of game you find yourself in, which you will the rest of the season. And that's the power of Russell Wilson. I've been in the huddle, Tony, when everybody's wondering, are we going to win this game? Am I going to make the play? And when that quarterback comes in with winning on his mind, you can tell in the play call, here we go, boys. Here's how we're starting this drive. 0 out, scat, 22, Tony over on 1. Ready, break. And you just get out of that doubt and you get into playing. And that's the role that Russell Wilson will continue to play for the Broncos.
Love it. I love the breakdown. I still believe. I believe in the Broncos. They look bad so far. Takes time, though. They had some weird spots, too. In Seattle, tough spot for Russ to go back with no preseason this week versus a great 49ers defense. I think they're going to get it going against the Raiders. Got no D-line. I think they get it going this week a little bit. But
yeah, I don't know, man. You know me. Josh McDaniels is the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders, and that's all I have to say about that.
Ryan, good to talk to you again. Where can they find you at, though, besides calling this game on Saturday night?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram at RyanHarris_68. I'm on Twitter at Salams_from_68. And then always check out the website, RyanHarris68.com, or shoot me an email if you're looking for some help finding out what you can do in this market with purchasing or selling your home. Email me at ryan.harris@pmrloans.com.
Love it. And as always, you can find me at runpuresports.com, Big T44 DFS on Twitter. Another fun week. Looking forward to week 4. Thanks, as always, Ryan, for hopping on. I love hopping on here, talking some football with you. Let's have a week. Let's get another Notre Dame victory. Let's hope you lose your pick tonight because my Bengals are going to win. Who day tonight? Get us out of here, Simon.
What's up, guys? Tambo here with your Week 3 core report. It was another huge week for Run Pure members, as once again, our logos were all over the leaderboard. I myself actually kicked things off, hitting for 38K on the Thursday NFL Showdown slate, and then once again with another 35K on the PGA slate for President's Cup. You can catch all my core plays and attack plan for every NFL slate, as well as for PGA, available to premium members on runpuresports.com. You Kill Bill Walsh followed up, nailing his CFB core plays for the second week in a row. Shout out to GoBoys18 for hitting over $7,500 on the Friday DK CFB slate. On the NFL main slate, the man shipped big yet again with a $105,000 hit on DraftKings. But once again, it was one of Big T's cores that broke the slate on Monday Night Football. Big T made the unique call of plugging kicker Graham Gano in at captain, opening up salary to load up on studs for a projected low total game. Tony actually called his shot earlier in the day on our free NFL Showdown show.
What does a kicker have to score to get you there if you play him in the captain, Tony?
I mean, I think to like full ship, you would need 5+ field goals, but in a game like this, you could get 5+ field goals.
By the way, if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, what the hell are you thinking? It's free. Just click the red subscribe button on our channel or the bottom right corner of our videos. Big T's strategy paid off big time, shipping literally all the money on DraftKings. Tony won over $280K himself, but he was not alone. RPS members chopped the top prize in the DraftKings Millie Maker, including JCOM turned $70 into $7K. Derek Bowe turned $45 into over $10K. B Wall Show 5 did the exact same thing. BP Consi turned $90 into over $10K. Jeffy B123, Noon 7, MVY Littell 1928, Armed Rogery, Hard Work 24/7, and DSF Dom all joined in, hitting over $10K each. Jay Gingery turned $245 into over $12K. Gators S070, Master 24, and APOC 14 hit for $13K each. Guy Nation Matt Guy shipped over $20,000. Taylor Made himself hit for $20,000 as well. Uncle T even got in on the action, shipping over $27,000. And Rubio's core plays and playbook nailed the game script too, and he joined in on the fun, hitting for over $19,000 himself. I cannot stress enough the benefits of being a member at Run Pure Sports. All it takes is one night like this, and it can set you up for the entire season. And we give you guys the tools and content to make it happen. Head on over to runpuresports.com to check out all our premium options, including SaberSim packages, and we'll see your screenshots in the Discord soon. Until next week, good luck in your contest, and let's keep running pure.